You're looking at implementing profit first, but you're clashing with your accountant. They are not supportive of this transition and it's holding you back from actually taking action. Today, I want to talk to you about the difference between profit first and traditional accounting methods and how to deal with an accountant who is not supportive of your decision to implement profit first. Hey guys, I'm Abby Johnson with Matterhorn Business Development. I am a certified profit first professional. I've been certified for 6 years now, 2019. I have seen it all. I've seen the good and the bad and the ugly when it comes to profit first and implementation. So let's dive in here and discuss how this differs from general accounting and why your accountant may not be supportive of your decision to implement profit first. First of all, I definitely recommend you watch my P&L explained video. I think that has some super helpful insight as to what is a profit and loss statement. Yes, we know that a profit and loss is sales or revenue minus expenses equals profit. We talk about that. Mike talks about that in the Profit First book, but there's so much more to a P&L. And I think if you watch that video, you're going to understand that in a profit and loss statement, there are things that are left out of it. There are things that you have spent cash on that are not on that profit and loss statement. This P&L is used as a tax tool. This doesn't actually tell you where your cash flow is going. That's why accountants use something called cash flow statements, which in my opinion are very confusing for a layman or an everyday person to understand. Just understand that your profit and loss, yes, we know we're flipping the formula with profit first, but it's so much more than that. There are actually things missing on your profit and loss, and therefore you aren't getting a clear picture of where your money is going. A quick example of this is loan or credit card payments. If you have any sort of loan or credit card, those payments are not recorded on your profit and loss. So if you made $30,000 in loan payments for the year, that's in your profit category on your profit and loss. So that can be very confusing and frustrating to see that you made all of this profit, but it actually didn't go in your pocket. It went to loans. But there's no way to know that unless you know how to read a profit and loss and a balance sheet and a cash flow statement. This is why I love Profit First so much, is it just simplifies everything. Money came in, it's going into these categories and it's being spent from these categories. That's what's important. A P&L is great for breaking down your expenses further and doing an expense analysis and having your accountant do your taxes because it is a tax tool. But otherwise, for you as a business owner, it's not as valuable as some accountants would think. To be clear, I am considered a coach in the profit first world. I am not an accountant or bookkeeper, although I do have a heavy bookkeeping background. I have worked closely with accountants and bookkeepers, and I now understand how their minds think. So if you just step into their shoes, they have this education and this body of knowledge, and maybe some of them have even been an accountant for 30, 40 years and have done something the same way. So to them, it's really hard to understand why you, the business owner, don't just take the profit and loss and balance sheet and understand what's going on. That is one of the barriers you may be up against, is they're very traditional, very old school, and aren't able to put themselves in your shoes of someone who is not an accountant. The other thing I see about the accountants who don't like profit first is they hate that there are multiple bank accounts. I worked with a business that had multiple bank accounts. They weren't doing the profit first system, but they did have multiple bank accounts for different reasons. And the accountant hated it, but there wasn't much that they could say or do about it. The business owner just carried on that way. But the reason they generally don't like all these bank accounts is they see it as more work, more reconciliation, more tracking down data, etc. But if you're applying profit first correctly, it doesn't actually add that much complication. The idea here is that your profit owners pay and tax accounts are just hold accounts. You hold money in there and transfer money out when it's time for it to be paid. For example, if you're making a tax payment, you transfer it from tax to operating expenses, and then it's paid out from operating expenses. If you're making an owner's withdrawal or owner's expense, you transfer it to operating expenses, and then it's withdrawn from operating expenses. This means that these accounts just have transfers going in and out of them. So it's really not that much harder to reconcile, and it's really not that much harder to track down expenses if that's the problem. These are just some things you're butting up against when you have an an accountant who is not supportive of this system. It's actually kind of cool. Over the last 6 years that I have been certified, I have seen more and more acceptance of it and less resistance. I have less clients saying, hey, my accountant doesn't want me to do this. So what's great is people are becoming more accepting and more understanding of it, but your accountant may not be, and I understand that. My advice to you is you need to make your own decision from your own viewpoint and what you feel is right for your business. This is your business, not your accountant's business. Just like if you came to me for other business coaching or something like that, I can give you my advice. I can give you what I've seen has worked in the past for other people, but ultimately it's your business and your decision whether you want to listen to me or not. That definitely applies in this situation. If you feel like this is going to be the right step for you and it's going to help you as a business owner get more clarity on your numbers and understand how to pay yourself, how to cover your taxes, where there may be overspending, then go ahead and do it. And if your accountant is really that much of a problem, most of the time, if you just say, hey, accountant Joe, I'm doing this, I've made a decision, they may be annoyed about it, but there's not much they can do, right? Or if they're really giving you pushback and it's really causing a problem, go find another accountant. It's really not that hard to find someone who's going to be supportive of this, because I don't understand how someone can't be supportive of someone gaining financial knowledge and clarity of their business and doing it in a way that works for them and not having to go get an accounting degree and understand everything that their CPA understands. I get a little heated about this, as you can tell, because it's frustrating. I want the best for you. I want the best for my clients. And I have seen Profit First work and just the light bulb go off in people's eyes once they understand where their money is going or when they can pay themselves and when they can pay themselves a bonus. I don't see any harm. I just get frustrated when people resist it and won't let someone move forward. So go ahead and do what you want for your business. Now, if you need help implementing the Profit First system, click a link below and book a free profit assessment. We can look over your Profit First numbers and decide what the best solution is for you. We have several different options to help people all budget ranges. So make sure you click that link below, and I hope to talk to you soon.